Hey, what's up guys? Tuki here, back again, this time with something a little bit different and something that has been asked about for a very long time. Now, obviously with the NHL 18 experience or just the EA NHL franchise mode experience in general, it's a little bit more streamlined as it pretty much has to be. However, with Franchise Hockey Manager 4, it focuses solely on franchise mode. Surprise, surprise. And that is why, as I mentioned, it has been asked for so long as to whether or not I'd be bringing a series to my channel. And I'm guessing, as you would assume by this video being up right now, the answer to that question is absolutely. I finally bit the bullet, finally got the game, and if you've been following me on Twitch, you'll know that there might be a little bit of an addiction to this game, and that will continue in the form of a series here moving forward. Can you tell I'm off script, by the way? I'm just trying to think of how to word all of this in real time. Not always easy, but we're getting through it. Anyway, as far as the series goes on this channel, the one problem I'm having right now is that FHM4 is so damn in-depth, and there are so many options that you have. It's very tough to decide what to do. So what better than to make this sort of introduction video where I lay out all of the options that we have and really kind of leave it up to you guys as far as what we do moving forward. Now, when it comes to FHM, you do have a couple of options. The first option is just a straightforward standard game using the current up-to-date rosters. Of course, as you can tell, this game is licensed by the NHL. They have all the rights, so everybody's in there. With a standard game, you have the option, though, not only to start off with an NHL team or an AHL team and actually have nothing to do with the NHL team. Most leagues in the world are in this game. Whether that's the SHL, Liga, the KHL, most leagues are in, and I'll get you a further look at that towards the end of the video. So needless to say, there are options. Whether or not we wanted to use the Arizona Coyotes and try to rebuild them, whether or not we wanted to start over in the KHL, there's also the option to start off as unemployed, and you can get an offer from a lower league team and try to build your way up to getting towards the NHL and winning the Stanley Cup. That would be one hell of a series. It would take a long time to get there, but I'm intrigued to know if we could actually pull that off. The other options, and not that I want to just brush that aside, because again, using a current team right now and trying to win a cup, that's all well and good. I think that'd be a lot of fun to do, especially starting off as unemployed. That's something I really can't do on Twitch just because my PC isn't powerful enough. That's really only something that I could do in a series. So I'm intrigued to do that. I might end up doing that at some point, but whether or not the whole unemployed road to glory is something that we want to start off with, I want your opinion on that, or whether or not we should start off with a current team. Starting off, of course, in the real world season, using a team that is around in the NHL right now, or the KHL, or any other league. Let me know what you think, because what this video basically is going to be is I want to lay out all the options, and I'm going to look at the feedback down in the comments as far as what you guys want to do. And then from there, you know, basically whatever option kind of wins out as far as what you guys want to see. From there, I'll have a second video where we'll put up a poll and finally kind of, you know, bring it down to what option we're actually going to run with. So if you'd like to see a standard game, you know, a current up-to-date game, whether that is the Road to Glory idea, whether that is playing with the current NHL team, playing with the KHL team and SHL team, let me know down in the comments. However, we do still have some other options to talk about, and it gets pretty ridiculous. Because the other main option that we have, there are three options here: standard, historical, and historical challenge. And with a historical sim, this is ridiculous, guys. With a historical sim, you can start in any year over the past 100 years. From 1917 to 2016, every year is accurate. Every year is accurate, with accurate teams, accurate rosters. It's absurd. If you want to use the 1924 Bruins, you can do it. If you want to use, you know, if you want to do the whole, you know, NHL's first expansion, you can do that. You can play as the, what was it, the California Golden Steels, the Cleveland Barons, I think it was. It was Kansas City, too. Case in point, you can do that. I could use the 1972 Bruins and score the winning goal with Bobby Orr again. Although, remember, it is franchise. You can't actually, like, play out the games. It is a text-based sim. But just keep that in mind. If you wanted to use a Broad Street Bullies team from the 70s, if you wanted to try and replicate Messier and Gretzky-era Oilers, or the dominance from Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr, you could do that. You could try to win a cup in Hartford before they moved to Carolina. You could use the 1996 Avalanche or the 01 Avalanche that I have a love for. You could use the 04 Lightning. You could use the 04 Flames and try to win the cup, as they probably should have, even though I love that Tampa team. You could go in the lockout year, and to be honest, I don't know what happens. You might not be allowed to do anything. It's absurd. It is absolutely absurd. I could use the 2013 Bruins and try to win, because they didn't, and avoid 17 seconds altogether. You get the point. It's absurd what you can do. And when it comes to using an historical sim, needless to say, the options are in the hundreds, if not the thousands, for what year, what team. It's absurd. And I'll leave it at that, because I could just keep hammering home the point. So we have the standard game option with an unemployed road to glory, with, you know, using a current NHL team or a KHL team. We have the option for an historical game using so many different years or so many different team options. It's ridiculous. But then there's the third option, which I got to admit, I think would be the best way to kind of introduce FHM to my channel. And that would be the historical challenges. Now, I'll flat out admit, if you guys decide against this as a series, I'll probably just go through them all on Twitch. But there are these historical challenges, and there is one challenge for every team, which is why I think it'd be fun to go through this. So, for example, using Anaheim, we'd start with Anaheim to begin this series. Your objective is to win the cup in 02-03. Of course, they made it to the Cup final that year. Jaguar still won the Conn Smythe, despite the fact that they ended up losing to the New Jersey Devils. With Arizona, it's your goal to make the second round of the playoffs before the end of the 99-2000 season. With the Bruins, win 3 Cup finals by the end of 78-79. With Buffalo, win the Cup by the end of the 1975 season. There's a challenge for every team. The Chicago Challenge involves going back to 1938, 1939. It's ridiculous. The Columbus Challenge is get to the playoffs by the end of the 04 season. I think you guys can see why I'm really intrigued by these historical challenges and why I think it would be kind of the right way to introduce FHM to my channel, even though some of them are going to take a bit longer than others. But I do feel like it would be a lot of fun. And like I said, if you guys would rather see like a current sim or a different historical sim, I'm going to run through these on Twitch one way or another, because these sound like a lot, just a lot of fun. And I want to see if I can actually win these challenges. And as mentioned, there is one for what I can tell, every single team aside from Vegas, of course, including with Winnipeg, make the cup, or not make the cup, but make the playoffs by the end of the 2013-14 season. I think those would be a hell of a lot of fun. So I'll leave it at that. Actually, here, you know what I'll do? You know what I'll do is, let me just go to, I'll load up the Bruins sim that we have been running on Twitch as of late, just to show you guys with current day sims how many leagues are in the game. And while every league isn't playable, a lot of them are. But it's interesting to see how many leagues do in fact factor in to the living world that you have within a current day sim. It is ridiculous. So needless to say, I'm happy that I finally, like I mentioned, bit the bullet, bought the game. I'm loving it so far, and I'm really excited for all the different possibilities that we have with this game on my channel. Like I said, while I think the historical challenges might be the best way to start, I am going to leave it up to you guys. So let me know, as I mentioned, down in the comments below, which one you would prefer to see, and then feel free to go in depth beyond that with a current day, as I mentioned, we can start off as unemployed and do that kind of road to glory thing and see where it goes. We could use an NHL team, we could use a KHL team, and just take it from there. With the historical sim, if you want to see that, let me know what year, what era, what team. Let me know what you think there. Or the historical challenges, which, like I said, some might take longer than others, but I do think it would be an interesting way as we, or as you get a look. If you haven't seen this yet, this is the, this is the interface, which to some, it's probably overwhelming. And it definitely is at first, but once you kind of learn what you're doing, it gets to be fairly easy. But this is the sim that we've been running with the Bruins. We're 1 year into a current day sim, and I'll actually give you guys a look here. It's down enough. Like we're getting offers here to take the job for the under-17 Russian national team, the under-18s, the under-20s. It is ridiculous what you can do. And when I mentioned the amount of leagues that are in this game, this is the full list of all the leagues that are in a current day sim. Now, as I mentioned, not all of them are playable. Right now the only ones highlighted are NHL and AHL because I need the sim to go through quickly on stream. But most of these leagues are playable. And if they're not, they can still factor in to the sim. So for example, if I have everything active, I can still look at what's going on in the second tier South Korean league. It is ridiculous how many leagues factor in. I mean, especially too for Canada. I mean, they have it down to, like junior, literally not even just junior level, but it's mind-boggling. It is so exciting. Like I've been playing this a lot on stream, but I have not yet even scratched the surface for all that you can do in this game. So that will pretty much do it, so I don't sit here and continue to gush over what's possible. But I want to know from you guys, what do you think as far as bringing a series to my channel goes? And if it goes well, then we'll absolutely do more. That's pretty much the way I kind of handle things on my channel. I'll throw it out there, whether it's FIFA or Alan Wake, whatever else. I'll throw it out there. If it does all right, if there's some interest, we'll keep it going. If not, hey, it's cool. We do what we got to do. We move on and focus on what is actually interesting to you guys. But I will say, to whoever has checked out FIFA or even the Alan Wake series, the very few, I do thank you. But like I said, let me know down in the comments below what you think. If you want an FHM series to be a thing, leave a like on the video. Leave a comment. I need to know. It's still going to be a big part of the Twitch streams, but as far as bringing a series over to YouTube, I need to know that interest is there. So I thank you guys very much for your time. Even a shout out to FHM's official Twitter, which I'll leave a link in the description if I remember to do so. But they've been very kind with hitting me up with retweets whenever I've been streaming FHM, so I do thank them for that. Money well spent on my part. This game is absolutely incredible, and I look forward to seeing whatever we end up doing, whether on YouTube or continued on Twitch. So guys, have a good one. Take it easy. I'll catch you next time.